I watched my daughter's substitute teacher destroy a bully, and I've never been more impressed by an educator. My daughter Riley has severe dyslexia. Reading out loud is torture for her. She stumbles over words, takes forever to get through sentences, and kids usually snicker. Her regular teacher, Mrs. Henderson, understood this and had developed subtle ways to avoid putting Riley on the spot. But last Tuesday, Riley came home sobbing harder than I'd seen in months. Mrs. Henderson was out sick, and they had a substitute named Ms. Williams. This woman had zero understanding of learning disabilities and decided to go around the room having each student read a full paragraph from their history textbook. Riley tried to explain that she had accommodations, but Ms. Williams cut her off. Everyone needs to participate equally, no special treatment, so Riley had to stumble through an entire paragraph about the Revolutionary War while 28 kids sat in silence. She said some words backwards, skipped lines, and had to restart 3 times. The whole ordeal took nearly 5 minutes. That would have been humiliating enough, but here's where it gets worse. Some kid named Derek thought this was hilarious. While Riley was struggling, he secretly recorded the whole thing on his phone. By lunch, he'd posted it on social media with crying laughing emojis and the caption, "When you can't even read like a normal person." By the time school ended, half the 7th grade had seen it. Kids were doing impressions of Riley's reading voice in the hallways. I was absolutely furious when Riley showed me the video that night. My hands were shaking as I watched my daughter's worst nightmare playing out on a phone screen. I called the school first thing the next morning, ready to unleash hell. The front office transferred me directly to Ms. Williams' classroom phone. I started explaining the situation, my voice getting louder with each sentence. I told her about Riley's diagnosis, her accommodations, the humiliation she'd endured. I was building up to demand she be fired when Ms. Williams interrupted me. "Ma'am, I am so incredibly sorry," she said quietly. "I had no idea about Riley's accommodations. I should have asked." Her genuine remorse caught me off guard, but I was still furious about Derek's video. "Well, what are you going to do about the kid who recorded her?" I demanded. Ms. Williams was quiet for a moment. Then she said something that stopped me cold. "Don't worry, I've got this handled." That afternoon, Riley came home grinning for the first time in weeks, barely able to contain her excitement. Apparently, Derek had strutted into class acting like nothing happened. When Ms. Williams asked for volunteers to read the next chapter, Derek's hand shot up immediately. Ms. Williams smiled sweetly and said, "Actually, Derek, I have something much better for you to read today." She pulled out her phone and played Derek's video of Riley struggling to read, with a volume loud enough for everyone to hear. Since Derek finds reading difficulties so entertaining, Ms. Williams announced to the silent classroom, "Let's see how he handles a real challenge." She placed a paper in front of him. It looked normal from a distance, but up close, it was written in a specialized font that mimics what people with dyslexia actually see. Letters were jumbled, backwards, upside down, and seemed to shift on the page. Derek stared at the paper, confident at first. He opened his mouth to read, then stopped. He squinted, tilted his head, tried again. He couldn't even get through the first sentence. I can't read this," he stammered. "The letters are all messed up." "Exactly," Ms. Williams said calmly. "This is what Riley sees every single day. And despite this enormous challenge, she still tries harder than any of you." The classroom was dead silent. Several kids were staring at Derek with disgust. Ms. Williams wasn't finished. "Derek, you recorded a fellow student's learning disability and shared it for entertainment. That's not just cruel. It's probably illegal under our anti-bullying policy." Derek's face went from confused to bright red to pale white. 3 kids actually got up and walked over to Riley to apologize directly. After school, Derek approached Riley by her locker and mumbled an apology while staring at his shoes. When I called to thank Ms. Williams, she explained her brilliant teaching method. Turns out Ms. Williams has dyslexia too and has been developing specialized teaching methods for learning disabilities for 20 years. Derek deleted the video that same day.